What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with an NBA edition. Hopefully these leans, likes, and locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. NFL was a smash. I don't really know what else to say about that. Puka Nacua anytime touchdown from the video. That Packers money line, that seems pretty good in hindsight. So overall, pretty happy with the NFL performance, but I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to get cocky. I know the YouTube comment section from time to time likes to get a little spirited, but here's the thing. You get great calls in your life. You have solid calls in your life. That falls more into the great call category, but nobody cares anymore. You are watching this video for today's NBA plays. So let's do that, shall we? I'm here in the great state of Arizona, Scottsdale, and I am ready to rock here. Taking advantage of Bet 5, get 158. Again, I already took advantage of it many, many moons ago because I've had BetMGM for, I don't know, since forever. So unfortunately, I won't be able to take advantage, but you can bet 5, get 158 in bonus bets. That's a $50, $50, and $58 bonus bet. 3 of those suckers coming your way when you bet just $5, depositing $10 or more at BetMGM down at the link below. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please go 1-800-GAMBLER. But I promised producer Jacob, he stayed up late for me so I could watch the end of that football game. It was a great football game there. Rams, Detroit. Puka Nacua is him, so that continued to be true. But either way, we are a forward-looking show. We're ready to rock here in the NBA streets. 11 games on MLK Day. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. First off, we have Houston and the 76ers here. Tons of injury news. Tons and tons of injury news here on this slate. And while this game gets going early, Joel Embiid is questionable with this left knee inflammation. It's not that hard to say, Eric. But Kelly Oubre now off the injury report. Really random scratch the other day. I thought that was very obscure, but didn't really need him because Tyrese Maxey, also him, confirmed. As for the Houston side, they get some guys back into the mix. Now, Tari Eason will continue to be out, but now they're making way for Jayshawn Tate. He is no longer going to have to start because Jabari Smith is there. I don't really know what to make of this entire game. Actually, we're just going to save ourselves some time. Houston money line, it's a lean. Again, plus 230. That seems like a pretty wide number if Joel Embiid doesn't play. Again, most important player in the NBA when it comes down to just handicapping their team with or without. Obviously, if he gets ruled out, that plus 230 looks really, really good because it'll come crashing. And obviously the inverse too, but we'll see what happens. Saving time so that I can talk about situations like this that I think are advantageous. The New Orleans Pelicans in Dallas, round 2, fight. And, well, what does it mean here? It means that Luka Doncic, also one of the guys who matters the absolute most in the association, he is doubtful entering this one. So you get another run back here with New Orleans. And obviously their situation could look improved from what it was the other day. Not that they needed to worry about it because Dyson Daniels was on the case. He played well. You know who really played well? Jordan Hawkins dance in his khaki pants. There's nothing better. He was outrageous if you watch that game. 34, 5, and 4. My dear Lord. Didn't know. I'm sorry. I wasn't really familiar with your game. A little bit of that to Jordan Hawkins and his entire family. I don't think anybody was down. It's just surprise start. Interesting stuff. But now you're getting probable McCollum, probable Ingram, probable Zion. They punted that entire game facing the same team, and now they get to bring their A team to it. Know that they got a guy like Dyson Daniels who could just do stuff off the bench from time to time. And Jacob Hawkins, screwed up his name again, Jordan Hawkins, back-to-back times. Just saying, got to put some respect on that name. I'm actually just going to put some respect on this line. I'm not sure what to do, but pretty sure this is like your parlay piece du jour, minus 170 money line. Easy enough add to the card. I'm going to be putting it in a couple of things. Again, get a nice early morning sweat, maybe hit up the gym. But this will be what I'm watching while I'm doing such things. And then, well, I'm going to attach it to some things later in the day. Have a sweat throughout. We've got NFL going on. Still have no idea what's going on with this Pittsburgh-Buffalo game and what I want to do. But either way, that's on the card. Orlando, the Knicks, and a little weirded out by OG Anunoby. He makes me sad because I've had a really good month. I've had a really nice, solid month. This guy flipping hates me. There's just no way around it. OG Anunoby locked him twice, over 2 on locks with OG Anunoby. Sour face. It's like a Sour Patch Kid, but not the good ones. Like, I don't know. It's the Birdie Bots every flavor jelly beans, Harry Potter analogy. Earwax. That's betting on OG Anunoby points props for me so far. So we're just not going to do it. And if we do it, maybe we short him or something. I don't know. But how about this against the spread? Orlando 25-14-0. New York 21-16-2. Again, New York was a cash cow for us last season. I was able to kind of short Julius Randle at the right times during the playoffs at the beginning of last season. My best team against the spread, hammered them in some really nice spots. And yet I'm down money betting the Knicks here on the season, which I find to be a little bit strange considering they're against the spread numbers. Been pretty good. Also, 0-2 on locks on the Knicks. Maybe I just need to stay away from the Knicks. Or I need to short them like I'm going to. Again, shorting the entire game in general. Orlando just has no offensive flow here at the moment. It is all Paulo Banchero in the half court. He is the only guy who can really do it. Jalen Suggs brings it occasionally. Caleb Houston had like one good game, so shout out to him and his family for that. Was it a friends and family game? I don't even remember. All I know is that 222 is the total here. That's not very high in the year of our Lord 2024 here, but I think there's reason to be shorting it. The Knicks play at the fifth slowest pace in the NBA, 97.9 possessions per 48 minutes, and not all that far behind them. Orlando, they're just sitting there dead middle in pace, and sure, there's going to be minutes that are allocated towards getting Cole Anthony on the floor, Markelle Fultz on the floor. They like to go run up and down a little bit, but Goga Bitadze, the best defensive center thus far, second best defensive center other than Rudy Gobert, but I'm looking at my sheet. So second best defensive center, the Minnesota Timberwolves aren't on the slate, so there's that. Isaiah Hartenstein on the other side of this one. So let's have the centers just do some work, clog the lane, and this should be fun. Under 222, like it, half unit, next game. Actually, first, let's talk on a chopper. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. Friends, I can't tell you how good of a deal this is right now. We have the Positive EV betting tool, the premium Discord, both combined into one. The Discord alone used to be $20. Now it's $15 for the entire offering. And when you use promo code Lindy, Lindy, bang! Mike Breen. Bang! Bang! There it is. 20% off. Use code Lindy, friends. Expert picks, Discord, premium tools, all in one package. Simple enough. $12 for your first week or $42 for your first month. Come hang out with me. Water's warm. Sunday, obviously a travel day for me, so I wasn't able to update stuff as much. But again, Monday, there are some things to bet on together, my friends. And let's just keep the momentum of NFL Sunday continuing on into this Monday, shall we? Come join me. Water's warm. Next game. Detroit plus 5.5 taking on the Washington Wizards, and just groundbreaking stuff in the association. Woke up. Some unbelievable news. Just some unbelievable news. Detroit, Washington, just exchanging bodies, now playing each other. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Marvin Bagley? Danilo Gallinari traded? Why? What? Huh? Can't even talk about it. Washington money line just leans. Just get out of here. This is just disturbing stuff. Anyway, Marvin Bagley, Danilo Gallinari play for different teams now. Good talk. Glad we had it. San Antonio plus 7.5 taking on the Atlanta Hawks. And I got to say, this is the one odd shopper du jour right from the get-go. I'm waiting for a couple of other numbers to show up here, but at the top of the Positive EV betting tool, you go boop, you click to Arizona, you sort, you look at the column, whatever state you're in, no matter what. The first play that shows up, if you're looking at this on Sunday night, is Victor Wembanyama unders. And I kind of just was running through projections as well. And I think this one makes a lot of sense at plus money attached to it. But I understand people's vehement feelings against unders. And there's going to be a game. I just feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. Feel it coming, babe. I didn't know I was going to sing at that moment. But anyway, Victor Wembanyama just plays like around 24 minutes a game. If he played 36 a night, you would be talking about like Joel Embiid type numbers. You would be talking about him being absolutely absurd on a per minute basis because he is just outrageous. But this minutes cap on him, he's played 21 and 20 the last two because they've been insane blowout wins against Detroit and Charlotte. And even though he's starting at the 5 here now, Zach Collins continues to be out. Barlow ends up inserted into a starting lineup. I'm so confused on what they're doing here. Obviously, he didn't play on the back-to-back, but if you look at the top of the board, 2 plays, Victor Wembanyama under 9.5 rebounds plus money. You look at Victor Wembanyama PRA, which is my preferred route for it, plus 105. Again, the OS rating of 11 with the true odds being minus 102. We're talking about 12 cents of value from what the break-even number is. It's so much better than that, though. We're talking a 20-cent difference than BetMGM, a 21-cent difference from Caesars, and then Sharp Sportsbook sitting up there in the minus 112, minus 113 range. Guys, 9.5 for the rebounds there, or that PRA. Again, I kind of like both. I'm going to go the PRA route here. Again, plus 105, plus or minus 117 being where those numbers are looking. I'm just saying. It's pretty good. 22 cents of value. Daddy like you a lot. Victor Wembanyama under 33.5 PRA. I'm calling it a lean for now. You can wait for some shift in the marketplace. Again, if he plays 25, 26 minutes, I'm going to go berserk because he's probably going to go. Next up, friends, Golden State taking on Memphis, and walking in Memphis. Nobody is because they're all hurt and they have body parts falling over, and Marcus Smart broke his finger the other night in Dallas, and there's just chaos in the streets. You have a turned ankle for Desmond Bane. I mean, things are not good. Oh, yeah, and John Morant's out for the season. I think that matters, too. My dad's actually still really mad at me about that because we're in a father-son basketball league that we've been in for like 2 decades, and I said we should stash John Morant, which looked really good for like 1 game. He's not happy. You're happy, though, because you bet my NFL stuff, right? Good comments are great. Anyway, Golden State -8 here. It's wild, insane to me. You know how much I don't like betting on Golden State, but there's 2 things that are really sharp that Steve Kerr's done of late. 1, Dario Saric in the starting lineup. Much improved. When you go through some of these numbers, and you can go to NBA.com, you can rotate around 3 men, 4 men, 5 men, who shares the floor. You can do on-off court numbers and add more funds as well. As you rotate through it, Dario Saric is just pretty good at basketball. 26 minutes of him a night, better than the 18, 20-ish minutes a night that he was playing there. I like him in the starting lineup. Don't think Kuminga is somebody that you wanted to have out there for 32, 34 minutes a night. Let him be the hot hand off the bench. Let Podziemski be the hot hand off the bench. Like Steph Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Saric, Looney, all of them in the starting unit. That's smart thing number 1. Smart thing number 2 is sticking with Looney in some of these scenarios where you just know on the other side of it, you got to do things against Memphis on the interior because they get rid of Bismack Biyombo. Xavier Tillman playing tons of minutes now for them. Again, this is a terrible, no good, very bad Memphis team. And now, no Desmond Bane. Expected for a couple of these games. You have a questionable Jaren Jackson Jr. and Santi Aldama questionable as well. They're going to have to play guys like G.G. Jackson and John Conchar minutes. That is not ideal. Jacob Gilyard is going to have to play 30 minutes here because Derrick Rose is still on the shelf for another 3 to 5 games. I don't know what to tell you, but between Morant and Bane and even guys like LaRavia, who's now going to be out for a long time, there's just no depth. There is no solid lineup equity there. Vince Williams. Again, let me just repeat what I have for the starting 5. Jacob Gilyard, Kennard, Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr. pending him being questionable, and Xavier Tillman. David Roddy could end up starting here in this spot. This is such a disaster for them. So Golden State on the other side, Kevon Looney being able to play those defensive minutes when needed. Probably not even need a lot of it. It could be one of those Trace Jackson Davis spots. We'll see where lines kind of hang this one because, again, Jackson Davis is going to smash against anybody there in that front court. I know that's a weird thing to say, but the rookie, he's got some offensive game. I think Kerr can recognize some of these matchups, but I do think Golden State wins this one by double digits. So much so that I actually bet on them for the very first time all season long. That's pretty wild. Actually, no, that's a lie. I know I had another one. I bet on them. I did not bet on them one other time. One time I bet on Golden State -8. Wild stuff. Next game. I found it. I knew I had bet on them. Okay. That was a long time ago. It had Draymond Green involved. But you know what? 1-0 betting Golden State on the season. You guys don't care. Let's talk about this. Chicago taking on Cleveland. Cleveland, this one's for you. 219.5 total. That's not for anybody. It's perfectly efficient here in this spot. In Chicago, the obvious thing is trying to increase the portfolio of anything that has to do with Zach LaVine at the moment. Nice to see the usage starting to come up. And as such, yes, Kobe White's playing 36 minutes a night next to him here, but I'm actually looking at shorting him under 18.5 points. I like it. I do expect the usage to come down in an earlier round. And Sugar, we're going down swinging. Number 1 with a bullet. Loaded God Complex, Kokken and Pullet. Nikola Vucevic going to be playing 34 minutes here as well. Patrick Williams is questionable. That doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form for Kobe White. But gotta say, Under 18.5 is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. If it has plus 105 or better like it does right now, though, I don't know how this doesn't project out well. Super quick for everybody. Bet $5, get $158 in bonus bets, a $50, a $50, and a $58 bonus bet coming your way when you sign up the link below or with the lovely QR code that is put right in front of your face there. Super easy, super efficient. You sign up for a new sports book. Again, a market-based approach. You want your DraftKings, you want your FanDuel, and hey, you want some bonus bets for NFL Monday? Yeah, we got 2 games now rocking in the NFL here. You want to bet one of these 11 games going on? Well, when you bet $5 after depositing $10 or more at BetMGM, you're going to get a $50 bonus bet, another $50 bonus bet, and then a $58 bonus bet just to try out BetMGM. My friends, super easy. Take advantage down below, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's round this thing out, shall we? The Miami Heat taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Looking at the board for this one, Jimmy Butler, one day he's going to play. This probably is going to be it because he is questionable entering with this thumb deal that he's had forever. Is that a thumb? For right first MP joint sprain. That's like a shoulder or something. I don't know. Anyway, he hasn't played, but first time that he's appeared questionable, which kind of leans you to think, hey, we could be seeing Jimmy Butler in action. That'll be an enjoyable experience. Kind of an enjoyable experience because I do think as long as he's playing, he's traveling with the team here. It was a toe, by the way. I had to double checking my work. But Jaime Hawk has ended up getting dinged up, won't be playing, so would be really nice for them to get back into the mix. And this line kind of did a little buoying thing, 1.5, 2, 1.5, 2. Again, weird to see them as dogs here in this spot, though. Plus 114, if you get any amount of Jimmy Butler back, I expect him to right from the get-go being healthy. You wait till you have 100% of Jimmy Butler, so 32 minutes of him seems nifty. I'm just not really impressed by anything Brooklyn's doing. They're reducing some of the Spencer Dinwiddie minutes, getting more minutes of Cam Thomas again. Don't know what their goal is here long-term for this team. Mikal Bridges, he's had moments, he's had flashes. Well, not just flashes. He had some sustained solid play over the course of the tail end of last season as a number one. Fun to see that role after the Suns' tenure, where, of course, he was one of the best two-way role players in the NBA. But, yeah, you make that trade 100 times out of 100 if you're either team, and Kevin Durant wasn't going to stick around at Brooklyn. So there you go. Anywho, we're looking at the money line of Miami. This is the first play that I actually had that I fired up because I was like, this feels like an overcorrection by the marketplace to the Hawkes injury. I'm pretty okay with it. I think we want to be firing it up. We continue on our merry way. The last one was the first bet that I put into play, but this is my favorite. Don't think it's remotely close. The Boston Celtics, producer Jacob's Boston Celtics, taking on the Toronto Raptors in this spot. Jaylen Brown, that's the one piece of status you got to pay attention to on the Boston side. He is questionable. This could be a spot, obviously they're 7-point dogs, where you say, hey, put him on the shelf for a day, have him get a little bit healthier. Jaylen Brown, it's been knee hyperextension. That never sounds fun. You need him and Tatum healthy. And then you need Kristaps Porzingis healthy above probably all else, which is a wild thing to say out loud. Actually, you probably need Derek White healthier out of everybody because he leads this team in terms of EPM, which is a wild thing to say. I almost said to say out loud like 14 times this show, but whatever. On the Toronto side, though, you know where I'm going. I hope you know where I'm going because Emmanuel quickly, they lost by infinity points. He only plays 25 minutes, but did you see the box score? 15-3-0. He only played 25 minutes. He was 3 for 3 from 3. He was really like the only guy with a pulse there on the Raptors the entire night. He's ran into foul trouble also that suppressed his minutes in some sneaky spots. Only 26 minutes he plays against the Lakers there. 21-5-5. The man is going to destroy this line even against everybody wants to talk about the defensive numbers. It has a 241.5 total. How many 220 totals did we talk through? And I have Emmanuel quickly, barring foul trouble, barring injury, barring blowout, playing 35 minutes in this spot. 35 minutes at his base rate and getting 27.5 PRA is a joke, friends. We are taking the over. We are locking it. It is the best play of the day. It's not remotely close right now. We'll take a look in the morning. There's a lot of props that still need to drop. This prop lock and drop it, friends. 2 games. This one is not it. Indy and Utah. I have Utah -7 as the best available play, but God, is there just some disgustingness, horribleness here. You have Aaron Nesmith, the only piece of injury news, and you should know by now, if a guy like Aaron Nesmith is the only piece of injury news we're waiting on, I'm probably not going to have a ton of interest here in the game, especially because, well, there's major disagreements I'll have from time to time on where the lines are getting set from the get-go. Like Emmanuel quickly is going to move to 28.5 or 29.5. I'm going to make sure that happens by recommending it everywhere to everyone that I know, my parents and my family members and whomever. But yeah, I'm not going to recommend this at all. Utah -7. It's a lean. It's a terrible game to be betting. Shout out to Utah, though. 8-2 in their last 10. That's fun to look at. And the last game of the night, the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. I should just go to bed here. I did a 2-hour-long NFL Live Before Lock. Deeper Dive Live Before Lock over on Stochastic YouTube channel. If you're not following that for fantasy advice, I don't really know what to tell you. It's the best. It was a lot of fun. We also ended up on Packers money line there too. Talking a little betting on the program. But anywho, let's talk betting here. Oklahoma City and Los Angeles. What is the main thing that I've been noticing here with the Lakers of late, other than they've been playing terrible, no good, very bad basketball? Well, they're playing more minutes of D'Angelo Russell when they really shouldn't be. He is not a winning basketball player. I don't know how many times I can say that here on this program. He played with my Minnesota Timberwolves. He took them down. 41 minutes against Utah. He got in fuego from three. You know what ends up happening? You still lose the basketball game because he is such a defensive misfit on this team. You can't have him out there for these kind of minutes. Now, does he step into a starting role here? I hope so, because I'm very, very interested in SGA, the guy on the other side. Now, Austin Reeves, he can't guard anybody either, but at least he does like everything else pretty darn well. Again, some of the defensive numbers when you work through the Lakers, it's basically Anthony Davis doing all of the work alongside the Jared Vanderbilts for his limited number of minutes. You've got a dinged up Taurean Prince that, will be fine to play in this one. Rui Hachimura now in the starting five. I mean, this is brutality. The Lakers are going to have to do a lot of crazy stuff. Now, they were able to pull off some crazy stuff a couple of times when we thought that they were just dead in the water. Now, D'Angelo Russell, I hope he starts. I really do. I hope they bring Rui off the floor in some capacity or Austin Reeves back into that bench role. But seems like that's going to be what they're rolling with going forward. Still, knowing I'm going to get 28 minutes of D'Angelo Russell no matter what looks really, really good because, well, one defensive mismatch is just this backcourt against SGA. SGA just doing everything he wants, 31.5 points per game. But you know how many blowouts they've had? Infinity of them over the course of the season. They won by 4,982 points against Portland the other night. That was insanity. 11 for 15 from the field in just 21 minutes there for SGA. He hit 31 points and just whatever. Anyhow, 35 plus is actually the advantageous way that I'm going to go about it. There isn't a line that I found here on the get-go, but I guarantee you it's going to be plus money, putting that into a single game parlay and 237 total as you do the pace and you work through this backcourt. SGA is going to get whatever he wants. So kind of like Oklahoma City as dogs. They go in the lean category, but this goes in the light category. Maybe I attach the two here a little later on. We shall see. But SGA going to show out against the Lakers there on Monday night in primetime on MLK. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know if you tail me in the NFL, because I still feel pretty good about this one. Let me know if you tail me in the NBA on Friday, which I apologize for OJ Anunoby. But anyway, I'm ready to rock here for another week of the NBA here in the great state of Arizona. Take advantage of stuff like this in Arizona. BetMGM, friends. Bet 5. Get $158 in bonus bets if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'll be back tomorrow, friends. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Thank you, producer Jacob. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on MLK Day.